Good evening, Council. Thank you. My name is Peter Wiedroder. I am the station manager for Dow AgriSciences here in Kaua'i and a resident of Kalaheo.
And what I haven't been able to find out, and I'm hoping you can tell me, that's one category of pesticides that are being used, restricted use pesticides. Those are the ones that need the permit from the federally approved permits. Then there's experimental pesticides, and then there's the general use pesticides. So how many tons of general use pesticides is used on these 15,000 acres?
I do not have that information off the top of my head.
Get that information from your company and the other three companies and haven't been able to get that. But they didn't have the general use. And Pioneer and Syngenta is fighting giving me the experimental use, but I do have the restricted use.
Okay.
So an agricultural operation will have a certain percentage of restricted use pesticides, maybe 20%. And really the vast majority, 80%, would be general use, Roundups and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to think if the industry is using 18 tons of restricted use, and that's only 20% of their pesticide use, how much actually are they using? And that's what I haven't been able to find out. And quite frankly, that's one of the reasons for the bill, is so we can find this information out. But if you...
That's the email to Council Services. You heard the question from Councilwoman Yukimura and Councilmember Hoosier. If you could share that additional information with us to that address, it would be much appreciated. Thank you. Mr. Please.
Next speaker is Cindy Goldstein representing Pioneer.
Aloha and good evening.
One is I've been trying to get a copy of an experimental pesticide permit that Pioneer has in the Department of Agriculture. It's a state permit and a federal permit. And it's my understanding it's public information. And I've been told by the Department of Ag that Syngenta and Pioneer is fighting the release of that information. And again, reason for this law, proposed ordinance, is so we're entitled to know what chemicals, what pesticides are being used. Okay, so I'm asking you if you will provide that information to the council, number one. And number two, do you believe that your company should be able to spray restricted use pesticides right next to schools? Do you believe there should be no buffer at all, no restrictions on where you spray this?
Well, I certainly understand the concern for safety for our employees and for our neighbors and families in the area and the schools.
Okay with the spraying restricted use pesticides adjacent to schools if the label says it's okay?
We follow the label,
Okay.
and the label describes how it should be used.
Can you provide that information to the council?
I can certainly try to gain a better understanding of what that permit is, and we can take that up.
So is that a yes? So is that a yes? So is that a yes? Yes?
I would really have to see what the nature of that is and what the history is of that. And I do understand your desire and interest,
Okay.
but I would have to take that up further.
Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Hoosier.
Good evening, Council, Chair, Vice Chair, and Council members. My name is Mark Phillipson. I'm with Syngenta. I'm here today representing the Hawaii Crop Improvement Association, which is our trade association.
Vice Chair Nakamura.
Currently, Mark, what are the buffer areas? What is the distance that you keep from your crops to the streams or from the road?
I believe that it is 20, 25 feet from the edge of any stream or waterway. I'm not positive on that exact, but it's somewhere in that range.
Could you get back to
Yeah,
us
sure.
on that? I think it'd be interesting for all of the seed corn companies to know what the current buffer zones are based on the type of pesticides you're using for streams, roads, and the other items used in the current bill. And if it varies from companies, that would be good to know as well.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's a big part of the nexus was the right to know. And as you know, I've been trying to get information from your company and the other companies on pesticides for many months and was not able to do so. And had to go the hard way through the Department of Agriculture, and I still don't have all the information. And I'll ask Pioneer the same question I'd like to ask you. I've been told in writing that your company possesses an pesticide experimental use permit. And the Department of Agriculture initially was going to give it to me, and they say now that Pioneer and Syngenta are arguing against that. And so I've been trying to get it for several months now, and I understand it's public information, and I have not been able to get that. And would you present that, a copy of that permit to the council?
Yeah, I think that it is public information. I think the question is a matter of redaction on that to protect employees who could be harassed.
So is that a yes? I've been told other things by the industry that didn't always come out to be totally accurate. And
Okay.
so a copy of the
Well,
permit,
let
a copy
this
of the
be one
permit.
of my tests then.
Okay,
Test
okay,
me on this one.
Okay. Because I have gotten other information with names redacted fairly easily. I've been trying to get this for about 90 days and have not been able to get it. So if we get a copy of the permit, and it'll be the test.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.